There is the stream. Chat's up, but the stream is still loading onto YouTube. There's the stream. There's the chat. The audio working? Yep, the audio is working as it should. So that's all good. Hello and welcome back, everyone, to round 13 of the PlayStation America series here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and we're going racing at Baku City Circuit for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Well, at the very least, that's the plan. We did a qualifying session earlier where we've set the field. All 20 cars who participated in qualifying are back for the start of the race. Clear skies. That is interesting. Why is it clear? It shouldn't be clear. It should be raining. I might check the Discord ever so briefly. I'm sure a lot of people would prefer a dry start for the race rather than a wet weather one. But yeah, so it seems that we might be sticking with this dry weather start, even though we were supposed to have wet weather for the start of this race. But I'm sure many of the drivers don't mind at all that it's a dry weather race. And typically, dry weather is a lot better for us to watch as well in the commentary box. So I am all for having a dry start rather than a wet weather one. But I think the drivers will be given a 3 choice of tyre if we're still doing this, unless we have another lobby reset to fix this small issue. I see nothing in the Discord about changing the lobby again, so the drivers better make sure as well that they've at the very least put on some sort of setup. Lobby reset. Lined up on the grid, they would have had default, so better make sure they have some sort of setup on. We'll run through the order again, all 20 cars. This time they're all starting on different tyres rather than everybody on the intermediate, so we better run through it proper. We've got Assassin on pole position after he set a 1:37.7 in qualifying. He'll have Wrench alongside on the medium compound tyre in P2. Noah P3 starting on the soft tyre. Then we've got Captain Schmeck P4 completing the second row on the softs. We've got Lake Show P5, the second driver on the medium compound tyre. A bit of a moment at the castle section. Oxford Fox P6 starting on the softs. JBH P7 starting on the soft tyre. Same with Nahil plus Ultra in P8. P9 we got Rafa starting on the softs. Same with Silent Banshee who rounds out the top 10. And we've got Oscar Toll P11 starting on the softs. Same with Godly Boss in P12. Laquito is the next driver starting on the medium, starting in 13th. We've got Psycho, who I can now see their name, starting 14th on the medium. Same with Flavius in P15. His teammate Snake and Bean starts P16 on the softs. Schumacher starting 17th is on the medium tyre. Shizen P18 on the softs. Lob P19 on the mediums. With George starting at the back of the field on the soft compound tyre. So we have got 7 cars on the mediums, 13 on the softs. So fairly decent mix, I'd say, of soft tyre runners and medium tyre runners. So I'm looking forward to how all those different strategies pan out over the course of the race. Leaders are lining up into their grid slots. Assassin lining up in pole position. There we are. Just be waiting on George at the back of the field to line up into his grid slot. You can see here with this camera shot as well, quite the unique landscape here at Baku. Got a lot of urban infrastructure surrounding the circuit, but there's a lot of green, isn't there? Not just from the Rolex sponsorship boards all around the circuit, but just a lot of nature around the circuit. It's quite a lovely looking setting. See, Co-Masters put a lot of effort into it. George is lined up and ready to race. Everyone is lined up and ready to race here at Baku. We have 10 red lights and we are underway here in Azerbaijan. Assassin starts quite nicely. on the racing line. He will lead the field into turn 1. Exiting turn 1, the midfield trying to make their way through the opening corner. Shizen's got a 5-second penalty, a severe collision with Flavius. Exiting turn 2, heading down the back straight away. Passassin is pulling away. Wrench still in second. Second 1, yellow flag. Oh, the minimap. I forgot to bring up the minimap. We've got Shizen's off the circuit there at turn 2. A bit of action here at turn 3. The drivers trying to make moves whilst trying to keep out of trouble. Heading around turn 4. Exiting 4 down towards the tight chicane of 5 and 6. A fairly controlled start from everybody. That's Schumacher who is bringing out the yellow flags at turn 4. Captain Schmegan Lake Show battling. Lake Show is through into 4th place through the castle section for the first time. The midfield are going to have a very interesting time through here, trying to keep out of trouble, and I think pretty much everybody has really good stuff to see. The Hill, he's dropped down the order somewhat. Yes, he's lost 4 positions off the start, so dropping down from P8 down to P12. On the back of Godly Boss, who's made up a position. Biggest winners off the start is Oscar Toll and Lob down in P16. Both drivers have made up 3 positions. Oscar starting 11th, he's currently in 8th. No, it's good to see a fairly controlled start here in Baku. JBH pressuring Oxford Fox here, heading down towards turn 1. Sitting right behind, heading into the left-hander. Down the inside he goes, through into 6th place. Comes up. Flavius going into the pit, so obviously he's got some sort of damage off the start, and that is Psycho who's made a mistake too. Turn 1, hang on, I think he has Snake and Beans with him. He does. So 2 cars having a bit of a moment there at the opening turn. Front wing for Flavius. New medium tyres going on the car. Assassin still out in front, leading by 1.2 seconds as Rafa overtakes Oscar for P8. He needs to try and pull away that little bit more, make full use of the medium tyre. Heading through the castle section. Gliding the cars between the barriers. Oscar Toll has lost a few positions. He's back down to P10. Oxford has overtaken JBH, who's made a mistake at turn 12. It's swamped up by Rafa, and here comes Silent Banshee closing in. The yellow flags at the castle section. I think that was an Alfa Romeo. Exiting turn 15, down the hill towards 16. Silent Banshee, he's half a second behind JBH, who seems to have not got any damage from what happened to him at turn 12. I'm thinking his lucky stars. Oh, Rafa goes into the wall. Oh, so does JBH. They both go into the wall simultaneously there at turn 19. Godly Boss overtaking Silent Banshee. There goes Rafa into the pits. Godly Boss will be looking around the outside of turn 1. Keeps it alongside Oscar on the exit. Oscar puts a bit of a squeeze, not too much. Rafa gets a 5-second time penalty. Oh, and Oscar covers off Godly Boss there in the braking zone. It was quite dangerous there from Oscar. And I heard a collision. I think it might have been Godly Boss going into the wall briefly. He's got the RS, he's closing in. Down into turn 3 we go. Doesn't go for the overtake just yet. He stays behind Oscar for now. Look at this train of cars. 5 of them in this train, led by Oscar Toll and Godly Boss, Silent Banshee, JBH, who has not got any damage, amazingly, after what happened to him at turn 19. He smacked the barrier on the right-hand side, exiting turn 19. Rafa did exactly the same thing right in front of him. He had to go in to get that front wing change. Through the castle section comes the midfield, exiting turn 12. Heading up the hill towards turn 13. Through the fast left-handers. Make their way towards the tricky turn 15. See there, everybody avoiding that inside curve. And around turn 16. Arguably the most important corner on the circuit. That corner effectively dictates the entirety of the third sector. Down the pit straight we go. Captain Schmeg overtaking Lake Show down the pit straight. He's through into fourth place. I wonder if Lake Show can retaliate. He's half a second behind the Williams. Needs a nice run out of here. He doesn't really get it. Captain Schmeg will pull away. Lake Show will close in with the power of DRS. Will just close in by enough to overtake Captain Schmeg though. Opposite Fox finds himself in P6 in a nice little bubble. He's got 2.6 seconds to the car ahead and 3 seconds to this man, Oscar Cole, who has a lot of cars behind him, to say the least. But this is effectively the only battle on the circuit. There is one between Flavius and George, as they're fairly close together on track. But we'll keep our eye on this. This tightly packed group making their way through the middle sector. With the castle section, up the hill, around turn 11. Have to be very careful through 11, not to go on the gas too much. Then lose control of the car. Godly Boss does exactly that. He understeered wide, almost went into the wall. Banshee, he's right there, only 3/10 behind as they go through turn 15. JBH is there as well in the Red Bull. Getting around turn 16. Godly Boss, he'll be in a bit of trouble. Silent Banshee is right up his gearbox. Oh, a bit of a lift there. And a bit of a lift there. His car was a tad bit sideways at the exit of turn 19. Here comes JBH and Silent Banshee. Silent Banshee goes through. JBH goes through. Can he get a double overtake? Here, down the inside into turn 1. Goes for it, sends it. He's through. Oh, fairly close on the exit though, between Banshee and JBH, as Godly Boss goes back through. Oh, a bit of hip and shoulder there. Nothing too major. That wasn't exactly the prettiest thing to look at though. Bit of rubbing, bit of racing between these three. Making their way out to turn 4. They won't be able to do too much through the middle sector. The middle sector doesn't really lend itself to racing. It's just a technical section that you have to negotiate. Oh, as Godly Boss. He almost got a bit of a tap there from JBH at turn 7. And he almost tapped the wall himself at the exit of turn 7. Again, understeering wide. He's having problems exiting the castle section and he's losing a ton of time. The gap has increased to 1.4 seconds between himself and Silent Banshee. Actually, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he has some sort of damage that he's carrying at the moment. And the hill is on the back of this too in P11. Through 17, through 18 and 19. JBH, he's 6/10 behind. Down the pit straight as Captain Schmeg goes into the pits. So he'll be moving on to the medium compound tyre. There they go. And away he leads. No major dramas for the Williams driver. Exits the pits. He is in 13th and we have sector 2 yellows. That is Shizant, I believe. He's had a bit of a moment. 19th place. Still good to see we have a full field of cars after 6 laps. No one's retired just yet. JDH is right at the back of Godly Boss, entering turn 5. Oh, brief collision there with the wall. Exiting 6. And the short straightaway as Noah gets a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. Exiting 7, Captain Schmeg has just overtaken Lob in P12. He's got a bit of clear track in front of him to try and close up to the Tweeter. JBH doesn't have clear track though. Track in front of him is full of Aston Martin at the moment. And then through 13, then through 14. tricky 15. Turn 15. Bit of a collision with the wall there for Godly Boss. I heard that. A bit of a scrape. JBH, he just needs a really nice exit out of here. He gets it. Still on the back of Godly Boss. There should be a fairly simple move as Godly Boss again goes narrow and compromises himself through 18 and 19. Really not a smart thing to do that. Just slows himself down and slows everybody else behind him. But there goes Godly Boss into the pit lane. And we'll see if he got any damage at any point. It did look like he was having trouble with the castle section. No front wing change for Godly Boss, so it's just something he'll have to deal with over the course of the race. It is not an easy section to go through by any stretch of the imagination. Captain Schmeg, Lequito's toe. Lequito trying to break the toe. Captain Schmeg looking to the inside at turn 3. Goes quite narrow into the corner. They're side by side on the exit. Lequito gets back by, and he has the inside line for turn 4. Goes deep, a bit too deep. Captain Schmeg gets the switchback. Down towards turn 5, he gets the position. I think Lequito lifted off the throttle there, just let him go. Probably a wise thing to do as Captain Schmeg is on fresh tyres. He's on a slightly different strategy. Lob is now on the back of Lequito, and we have yellow flags. That is Nihil. He is facing the wrong direction here in the castle section. He's got end plate damage as well. You can see the end plate there. Oh, and he's got front wing damage now. All of it should be missing. Yep. Got a completely missing front wing. So he'll have to do a whole sector, and that's Godly Boss. It is Godly Boss who's hit the wall at the castle section. Might have done a Charles Leclerc impression there in the Aston. But, he, like Nihil, has got a completely missing front wing. We'll have to pit to get that fixed. New tyres on Noah's car. He's on a set of mediums. He'll rejoin potentially in P8 behind his teammate. It's going to be close between the Red Bull cars. Side by side on the exit. And that is a Mercedes or an Aston? It is a Mercedes. It was Passassin who brought out yellow flags. He's now behind Wrench. Doesn't have any front wing damage, but he's made some sort of error at turns 5 and 6. Oh, and he's gone into the wall in the castle section. A costly mistake for our chat. Oh, and that's a reset to circuit. That he'll get in trouble for that. Ooh, goes off the side of the road there. Godly Boss on the hill. They're in the pit lane getting their front wings fit. Lakeshire, he's now on the back of Assassin. Yeah, it's a pretty commonly well-known rule that you do not ever reset the circuit. There are circumstances where the game does it for you. Not a famous thing to see it into Lagos, but it doesn't matter where you are, you can't reset the circuit. Down the pit straight to Assassin, he's going into the pit. Make sure he'll pass him. Take that P2 as Assassin gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Noah and JBH battling on circuit. Noah should get by with relative ease as JBH goes into the pit lane. So there is Assassin just in front of Noah. Gets in front of the Red Bull. You could say with absolute certainty, if Assassin didn't reset the circuit, he'd be behind Noah, for sure. JBH, fresh set of medium tyres on the car, leaving the pits. He's down in P12, just in front of Psycho. There he is, just in the back shot. P13. Flavius, Snake and Beans are about to change places here. Snake and Beans with the power of DRS gets by his teammate with relative ease. He's on fresh tyres as well, Snake and Beans, so he'd be hoping to get the hammer down. try and close up to the car in front, which is currently George in the Ferrari. Banshee now has his teammate directly behind. Down into turn 16. Assassin will get by relatively easily. He'll stay behind his teammate through these corners, try and not challenge him. Pass his teammate. Use DRS to pull away. There you go. Banshee, he'll go into the pits. Pull it up. Lovely. Make sure he doesn't speed. That was a very nice pit entry there from Banshee. Medium tyres going on the car. Foxy's got a set of mediums. Oscar Toll, a set of hards going on his Alpha Tauri as he leads the pits. Tweeto and Rafa. Rafa goes through with ease. He's into 10th. Overshoots turn 1 a little bit. Tweeto can get a solid run through turn 2, which he doesn't. He overshoots turn 2 quite a bit. I was going to say, if he got through turn 2 well, he might have taken back 10th place down this straightaway into turn 3, but that won't be the case. And JBH is closing in P12. The Hill has overtaken Flavius for P16. A bit of a moment there from Laquito. Essentially gets out of the way of JBH. Closing in on Oscar. Gap of 1.1, 1.2 seconds as they exit the castle section. As Wrench goes into the pits on lap 10 of 26. Yellow flags on track. That is... I don't know who that was. I think that might have been the Williams of Schumacher, potentially. There's so many blue dots on the racetrack, it's quite difficult to tell. Wrench on the hard tyre. Assassin sets fastest lap with a 1 minute 40.8. He's in P3, 5 seconds, just under 5 seconds behind Wrench. There is Shizen getting out of the way. Does a nice job there of getting out. Getting out of the way. Or down into turn 1. We got a bit of a battle here. As Lob goes into the pits. Get off those 10-lap-old medium tyres, exiting turn 2. Down the back straight towards 3. Oscar defends the inside line, so what does Banshee do? He goes on the racing line. Looking around the long way. Into turn 3. Side by side, contact, spinning, more contact. Oh dear, that was very nasty. But both cars get through without retiring one another. Although turn 3 is one of the better overtaking spots on the circuit, it's still quite a tight and fast corner, so if you get your line just a little bit wrong, you can have that happen to you. The cars collide, they tangle within one another, creates more drama, but I think both of them have gotten away with it relatively scot-free. Lovely aerial shot here, looking over the racetrack, looking over the older part of the city here in Baku. Make their way down the hill, exiting turn 15, and on to turn 16. As Lake Show, he's in the pits. He's chucked on the hard tyre. Again, a lovely aerial shot. You get to see the spectacular looking urban environment. Some of the older looking buildings surrounding the circuit. And then they head towards the more modern part of the city. You see the tall skyscrapers in the distance. It's rather a spectacular environment. It's definitely one of the cooler things that street circuits provide, is a unique landscape tour. And you have to say, visually, Codemasters have done a pretty spiffing job of it. Maybe H should be closing in on Oscar Toll, who is still within DRS range of Silent Banshee, as Laquito and Psycho go into the pits to get off their tyres to probably chuck on the hard tyre. Oscar doing his best, but those hard compound tyres just won't have the edge that these medium tyres do. But he's doing his best to keep up. He's just 1.2 seconds behind. And that is a Haas getting out of the way. That would have been Chisholm, I believe, trying to get out of the way of the leaders. Lakeshire, he'll have a bit of company soon with Captain Schmeg closing in. He's within 1 second of the Ferrari. Similar story with Passassin and Wrench. Passassin flying on those medium tyres. He's closing in rapidly on the Aston Martin. They start lap 13 of 26 and Passassin sets fastest lap with a 1 minute 40.3. Down towards turn 2. 0.2 of a second separating the top two. Down towards turn 3, should be a simple move. It is a simple move. Passassin retakes the lead well before turn 3. Chisholm has retired from the session. He's retired in the pit lane, I think. And I think Noah clipped the wall there. I heard a thud. Captain Schmeg now closing in. Half a second, just under half a second, separating P4 and 5. Exiting turn 4, heading towards turn 5. Through the chicane. 5 and 6. Getting into the hairpin of 7. Captain Schmeg not quite close enough. Through the castle section. Oh, that might have been lag. Because I've noticed that Lake Show is a bit jumpy. I thought he might have hit the wall at turn 9. So I think he kept it out. This lag made it look so much worse than what it was. Down towards turn 16. Gets around the curve. Lake Show leaves the door wide open. Ah, I see what he was trying to do. He was trying to let Captain Schmeg through. So he would get DRS to retake the position. Captain Schmeg was having none of it though. He backed off quite a bit. So much so that the gap has increased to 6.5 tenths. They enter the DRS zone. That sort of gamesmanship, tactics being played out as Captain Schmeg uses all of the road at the entry to turn 1. Captain Schmeg, his tyres will be feeling a bit worse to wear. Got 7 lap old mediums. Saw a lot of drivers after 10 laps pit for fresh tyres, so I imagine the Williams driver is coming close towards their pit window. So another set of tyres. Heading through the chicane once again. Just half a second. Around turn 7. Noah, 3-second time penalty. I think that increases his tally to 6. Yes, it does. Godly Boss, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So he's pitting for fresh tyres down in P14. Hello, Broke Vegan. Noah and JBH supporting the Red Bulls. Well, they're doing pretty well. P3 and P9, both inside the top 10. We've still got plenty of the race to unfold as well. Sector 2, yellow flags. That is the Williams, I think, of Schumacher, who's gone headfirst into the wall there. And he'll have to pit to get that front wing fixed. So he's got a healthy margin to the car in front, but also a healthy margin to the car behind. Captain Schmeg, he's outside of a second. Doesn't even have DRS. No. Captain Schmeg must have made a mistake. Coming out to turn 16, lost a long time. Anything I can think of. Baby H overtaking Oscar Toll. The Codemaster's camera work really helping me out, giving me useless camera angles. Right on board. This brief moment. As Oscar can counter-attack. but he can't quite get the drive out of turn 2. I don't think he'll be able to. Heading down towards turn 3, you can see there JBH trying to break the toe. He's low on battery as well, you can tell from the flashing light at the back of the car. And Bolly Boss has left the session. Oh dear. Rafa, fresh tyres on his car, he leaves the pit lane. George is in the pits as well. But Rafa, he'll leave the pits in a healthy P11. He's got a good margin to the car behind. He's got a hefty margin to the car in front. Needs to get his head down and close the gap. Gaps are starting to spread out here as well. No one really in any sort of position to battle, except for maybe this. Quito on the back of George, who was on fresh tyres. They will be a tad bit cold coming out of the pits as Schumacher has retired. He is retired in the pit lane, I think. Yes, he's retired in the pit lane. Car's leaving the pits now, so typical AI things. Won't properly despawn the car. Quite annoying. Verstappen out in front with a 3-second margin to Wrench. P2. Noah P3. Almost 12 seconds behind. He's got a 9-second margin to Lake Show on those hard tyres. He'll be trying to go to the end. Captain Schmag P5 will overtake his substitute teammate. He's just retired out of the race. Currently in P5. Oxford Fox P6. Then we've got Silent Banshee P7. Then JBH in 8. Oscar Toll in P9. And Lob rounds out the top 10. A long way behind Oscar Toll, mind you. 27.1 seconds. That's a big margin between P9 and 10. Rafa is closing in. He's only 7 seconds behind now. He used to be 9 seconds. He's found 2 seconds over the course of this lap. George, he's pulled away from Laquito, making full use of those fresh tyres. I don't think those will make it to the end though. He has to do a fair old stint on those tyres. They won't be very competitive. I think Flavius made a brief mistake, and I think Captain Schmeg has made a mistake too. Oh no, it must have been... Oh, it's still Schumacher. So Schumacher's AI is still out on the racetrack. That is amazing. I thought it would have despawned by now. But no, it's going to do a full lap of the circuit and then despawn. So we're going to see that yellow flag indicator up for a little while. Captain Schmeg is within a second of Lake Show. Opens DRS, he'll close in. He doesn't have a lot of battery. That's 5% as you can see there. So, he doesn't have a lot of resources on his side. But he does have DRS, which is better than nothing. Around turn 2. Missed the apex of turn 2 though. Doesn't get an amazing exit, but he is close. Down the back straightaway towards turn 3. He closes in little by little. Not by enough though. Stays behind. Oh, Lake Show and Captain Schmeg into the wall there. At the exit of turn 3. Lake Show almost does the same thing at turn 4. He had a lot of understeer at the right-hander. Through 5 and 6. Williams right on the back of the Ferrari. Clobbering the curb sideways. He catches it. Captain Schmeg probably had his heart in his mouth just ever so briefly. Lost control of the car. Gathered it back up. He now has to make up that lost ground. Almost going into the wall there at turn 9. That was very close. He's just outside of that 1 second range. He's sideways again at turn 12. He's losing little bits of time that he really can't afford to lose. And is that Oscar Toll? It is. He's made a mistake at turn 7. Doing a pretty solid Austin Powers impression, trying to get the car pointed back in the right direction. It's also one of the things that you're kind of forced to do on street circuits if you make this sort of mistake. JBH on the back of Silent Banshee. We may see a change in position here. Banshee will have a run. Coming out to turn 19, then around turn 20. Captain Schmeg is into the pits, so he'll get off those medium tyres. Probably chuck on another set of mediums. And here comes JBH. Makes a move around the outside. Silent Banshee. keep his nose there on the inside, but really can't do anything. He might be able to return serve, though, on the back straight, exiting turn 2 here. Fairly nice exit. You can see JBH moving straight away, trying to break the toe. He holds that inside line, and here comes Silent Banshee. My goodness. That Mercedes has got some legs on it. It pulled away. Yeah, we can have a quick look at the penalties. So we have got Assassin with a 5-second penalty, as Rob has made up 2 positions, overtaking Rafa. Hello, Nahil and Oscar Toll. Oh, I see. Pit lane. See, that's one of the bad things about the penalty graphic. It makes the pit graphic disappear. It's quite annoying. And we have a safety car. We have a full-on safety car. Oh. Well, that'll be why. No, get it straight and just reverse. Just reverse onto the circuit. Lake show. Just, oh my goodness. Oh, it's the AI in control of the car here. Well, the AI is not using any brains right now. Oh my god, this is amazing. So this is the AI trying to get pointed back in the right direction. Oh my goodness. This is amazing. Well, they better get moving, otherwise he'll get disqualified. Can the AI get disqualified? Surely it can. And what's going on here? A few drivers going into the pits. So Assassin, Wrench, Noah, all of these guys chucking on new tyres, taking full advantage of this safety car. Some drivers going onto the soft, some drivers on the mediums. Assassin, he had that big of a margin over Wrench. He could serve that 5-second penalty he got for speeding, and he was still in front of Wrench by the time he left the pits. Rafa goes in as well. He'll be chucking on some new tyres. Lob decides to stay out in P8. There's the Ferrari still going at it. What is the AI trying to do? I get it. It's trying to get pointed back in that direction. But surely the AI is smart enough to just go into reverse. Codemasters AI. It's amazing. Like, we've all seen Mahavir Raghunathan. This is Mahavir Raghunathan in its ultimate form. The AI just does not know what to do. This AI is amazing. We saw Lake Show, he left the session. Hopefully he'll be able to rejoin and fix this. That would be nice. One of those amazing things I've seen. We're right on board here. Yeah, you can tell from the cross he's not in the car. This is the Codemasters AI trying to work out what to do. Oh, this is amazing. I love the Codemasters AI. Come on, Ferrari, you can do it. Oh my goodness, the amount of rear wing damage the car would have. Come on, Ferrari, you can do it. I believe in you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, he'll be coming out to the pits. He's down in P10. Drivers have got a lot of catching up to do. You can see as well, pretty much everybody is migrated onto the soft tyre. A few drivers haven't though. Oxford, Captain Schmeg, and Wrench in P2. They've all gone onto the medium tyre. I bet they're regretting that decision, going onto the mediums. And look, Lakeshow's going to get lapped. Oh, no. Here we go. There is Lake Show's Ferrari. Just stationary. Oh my goodness. Mahavir on steroids, yeah man. This is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. This is literally the Austin Powers meme. This is the F1 2021 version of the Austin Powers meme. I'm having too much fun watching this. Just watching the AI. Just trying to work out how to get out of this situation. Oh my goodness. Man, just back it up. Right hand down. That's it. Now left hand down, back it up. That's it. Right hand down, floor it. Oh, left hand down, back it up. Yeah. Right hand down. Floor it. Come on. A bit more. Bit more AI. You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Bit more. It's almost solved it. Come on, Ferrari. You can do it. Come on. Oh, surely you can get out now. Surely, game. Oh, a bit more, it says. A bit more. It doesn't know. A bit more. Come on. That's it. That's it. Oh, come on. Go for it, Ferrari. Go for it. You get out now, surely. He's done it. The AI has done it. He'll back up a little bit. There we are. Get pointed back in the right direction. It goes. It's back on the racetrack. Miracles have happened here at Baku. That is the greatest challenge any Codemasters AI has ever faced. And it's triumphed with the greatest of difficulty. Round of applause for the Cody's AI. Oh, it fought hard to get out of that tight spot, but it finally got out of there. Oh. Round of applause. Beautiful stuff. Oh. Right, now we've got the race to focus on. The rest of the race, that is. We'll have a closer look at penalties. So, it's good to see there isn't too many penalties to worry about. Top two don't have any. Noah does, he has 6. Captain Schmeg, he has 3. The next driver who has a penalty is Godly Boss. He has a 5-second penalty. And he's in P3. He's between Wrench and Noah. So he's a bit in the way. Oh, and I reckon Noah will get an illegal overtake warning for that, yep. So, Godly Boss, he'll get out of the way when they cross the line. And he is a lap down. Guito's still catching up to the tail of the train. Rightio. Probably get rid of the penalties. Probably get rid of the tyre as well. Just have the interval up for now. Assassin's on the soft tyre. Wrench P2 on the mediums. And Noah P3 on the soft tyre. Assassin, he gets to decide when to restart this race. Oh, and Godly Boss has left the session as well. I didn't notice that. As Assassin restarts and begins lap 22 of 26 here in Azerbaijan. Leads the field through turn 1. Silent Banshee. JBH is out to the race. Oh my goodness. There he is there. There's a retired Red Bull stationary at turn 1. Hang on, we'll get a closer look at this. I'm curious. What's happened? Look at that. So he must have smacked the inside wall then. Smacked the inside wall, taken off the left front wheel, and he's out of the race. Like that. He's looking at the points finish. Not looking at that anymore. Scrapping going on here in the midfield. George on the back of Oscar Toll. Fighting for P9 and P10. The Hill Plus Ultra is now on the back of this as well. Through the castle section. Oh, Oscar goes into the wall. He went into the wall there at turn 8. Yellow flags are brought out. You see there he's got damage on the car. He'll have to come in and get that fixed. He gets passed by Psycho there. Oh dear. Hill still on the back of George. Won't have DRS to help him out just yet. Noah closing in on Wrench. You'd be regretting going on that medium compound tyre. Just simply isn't as quick. Through turn 1. Looking towards turn 2. Wrenchy still within a second of Assassin. If he wants any hope of winning this, he needs to stay within a second. Oscar goes into the pits to get his front wing fixed. Exiting turn 3. Through turn 4. The top 3 separated by only 2 seconds. Through the chicane of 5 and 6. Staying right behind. Putting as much pressure as he can on Wrench. Wrench falling away from Assassin. Through the middle sector, that's where the soft tyres will be at their best. You can make full use of the mechanical grip that they offer. Look at him pull away. The gap between P1 and 2 is almost 2 seconds. He is flying on those tyres. George running very wide. Here comes the hill. Trying to look for a way round. Goes round the outside of George there. Who leaves that door wide open for the Alpine driver. He moves into P9. The rest of the field is pretty spread out, I have to say. Very spread out. Silent Banshee will be trying to close in on Oxford Fox as Assassin sets fastest lap. DRS is now enabled. And will spice things up for anyone within the second of the car in front. Unfortunately, there's not too many of those. Got George, potentially Psycho. He's just outside of that 1 second range. Currently in P11. George, he's well within that 1 second range. He's closing in as JBH has left the session. Exiting turn 2. Gap is 8 tenths. He opens DRS. He'll close in. Oh, the Hill's got it as well. Oh, I see the lap car of Godly Boss. The AI of Godly Boss is currently in 15th place. He won't be classified, of course, if he doesn't join back and complete the race. He simply be classed as a retirement, a DNF. Fortunately, the leaders aren't doing too much. I think this battle towards the front is pretty much set in stone now, unless somebody makes some sort of catastrophic mistake. As Lake shows AI getting in the mix. Turn 16, the gap is 2.7 seconds, and Noah, he hasn't been able to close in on the Aston Martin. Still hovering just outside of that 1 second range. Down the pit straight towards the control line. It's 2 laps to go here at Baku. The final 7.5 miles of this race. It seems that we won't exactly get a dramatic finish. We'll get a finish nonetheless. Here comes Laquito. Got DRS, he's closing in. Into turn 1 we go. He'll look to the inside. He'll send it down the inside. He'll overshoot the corner a little bit, but he pulls it up nicely. Just used a little bit extra of that outside curb. Got the car rotated and he's into P11. DRS because of Godly Boss's AI. Silent Banshee is almost within a second of Oxford Fox, so the battle for P5 on track might not be over. This potentially could be the battle for P4. Captain Schmeg has got that 6-second time penalty next to his name. At this rate, I think Noah should be able to hang on to P3. Should be able to complete that podium. 1 and 2 are pretty much set. Simon Banshee doing all he can. Trying to close in. He's almost within a second. Needs to really send it through 19. That's not enough. There's 1/10 outside of that 1 second range as the leaders begin the final lap. Lap 26 of 26 here at Baku. The hill will be closing on a lob here. We'll have DRS to help him out. Uses up his overtake lob. He doesn't have much. You can tell from the flashing light. There goes Nahil into 8th as Oscar Toll gets a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warning. I think Oxford. Oh, he's made a mistake there. I was going to say he's pulled away, but all that hard work gone down the drain at turn 3. Silent Banshee is now right behind the Alpine, exiting turn 6. Kevin Schmeg, he's got a bit of traffic in front. That's the AI of Lake Show, providing a distraction. Who's that? Producing yellow flags. It must have been a lap car, because I didn't see anyone change position. Banshee, he really needs to nail this final part of the lap if he wants to take Oxford Fox. He'll get DRS, but he needs to be within half a second, I think. Try and take that P5 away from Oxford. It's going to be another dominating performance here from Possession. He will cross the line to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here at the Baku City Circuit, win by a comfortable margin over Wrench in P2. Noah should complete the podium in 3rd. Then Captain Schmeg will cross the line in 4th, but he'll be demoted down to P6 as Oxford Fox takes that 4th place away. Banshee will finish in P5. Next finisher will be Rafa in 7th place. Then we'll have Nahil Plus Ultra in P8. The Lob P9. George will hang on to P10. Laquito finishing just behind, just under 2/10 behind George. Goldie Boss, a 5-second penalty. That's the AI. We needn't worry about that. Psycho finishing P12. Oscar Toll will be our final finisher in 13th place. Our other finishers were Snake and Beans and Flavius. There we are. Certainly an interesting race here in Azerbaijan. Had some decent battles, we had drama, and we saw the cutting edge Codemasters AI decipher one of the greatest problems it's ever faced. But it's another victory for Possession. I believe this is also a full complement of points as well. Yep, it'll be the win and fastest lap. The only driver in the 39s at the end of the race. So well done to Possession, though there is one small question mark with that reset the track in the castle section that might be looked at. But for now, he is our winner by 4.2 seconds over Wrench in P2, with Noah completing the podium in 3rd. Oxford Fox P6 up to P4. Banshee from P10 up to P5. Captain Schmeg will finish in P6. Rafa in P7. Nahil in P8. Lob from P19 to P9. He'll be very happy with that. Same with George from P20 up to P10. Laquito from 13th to 11th. Psycho from 14th to 12th. And Oscar Toll, Snake and Beans, and Flavius, I believe, our final finisher. Godly Boss and Lake Show also completed the race, but Those were the AI in control of the cars, not the actual driver. Our retirements, JBH, Schumacher, and Schizend, our first retirement. So there we are. I believe 15 finishes over the course of this one. Plenty of drama and action in between the start and the finish, and a lobby reset, which is always great. If anybody wants to catch qualifying, I broadcasted that a few moments ago before we had the lobby reset. It was an interesting qualifying session. A fine lap from Verstappen put him on pole position by a healthy margin of 6.5 tenths. Really did set the tone for what we were about to see in the race. But I think everything said and done, we could probably wrap up the stream. Tune in throughout the week as there's still plenty of racing to take place here on Race Spec Esports. But for the America Series, we'll have to wait until next fortnight. Yes, next fortnight. Next week, we have a week off. Our first, and I believe only break in the whole series. So, yeah, it's a long time coming, but we're finally here, so we can have a nice little rest before the next round of the championship. But until then, I've been Lane Everingham. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you for round 14 at another new circuit for Race Spec Esports, Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari, better known as Imola, for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Should be a very interesting race at a brand new circuit. Hope to see you all there, but until then, it's goodbye.